So today we're going to do some more solving. So it should be very, very, very similar to what we've done before, but just a couple more steps. So you remember there's an infinite number of answers with this. So if we're going to solve this, we need to factor it. So this would factor to sine of x minus 2 times sine of x plus 1 equaling 0. Break it up into two parts, and you get sine of x equaling 2 and sine of x equaling 1. So then look on your trig identity sheet here and figure out where does sine equal 2, where does sine equal 1. So as you're looking on there, you can notice sine never equals 2, so that's not going to give you any answers. And sine is only negative 1 at 3 pi over 2. And then because you can go around the circle more than once, you want to add on the 2k pi, and then say that k is an integer so that we know we don't need to plug in like 0.5 for k. So that was a review. Here's a slightly different version. So we have sine of 2x minus cosine, which is a little weird because we haven't added 2x before. So look at your trig identity sheet and change this sine of 2x using the double angle formulas, I believe. So pull this up, look at your double angle, and then replace that sine of 2x with 2 sine x cosine x. So you get 2 sine x cosine x minus cosine of x equals 0. At this point, I can factor cosine out of both of these and get 2 sine x minus 1. And break this into two chunks. You get cosine x equaling 0 and sine x equaling a half. And then use your unit circle again, and you'll get pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2 for your cosine, and pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6 for the sine. Add your 2k pi to all of these. You can just list these with a comma if you want to, and then say k is an integer. And there's your answer. So now we have this one. Here we have this weird x over 2. So I'm going to rewrite this, leave this sine squared for now, and rewrite this as sine of x over 2, the whole thing squared. So bringing the squared out front of everything. And now you can use the power reduction formulas, the half angle formulas. So we still have sine squared of x here, 2, and then this chunk is going to become 1 minus cosine of x over 2, and still squared. So then the square is going to cancel out the plus or minus and the square root. So you have sine of 2x equals 2 times 1 minus cosine of x over 2. Now the 2's will cancel, and you have sine of 2x equaling 1 minus cosine of x. So now we still have two different trig functions. So I'm going to change the sign into 1 minus cosine equaling 1 minus cosine x. That way you have everything in terms of the same thing. And then I'm going to bring everything over to this side so that it's all positive. So we'll get 0 equals cosine squared of x minus cosine, because the 1's will cancel. You can factor out a cosine now to get cosine of x minus 1. Break it up into two chunks, and you get cosine of x equals 0, cosine of x equals 1. Look at your sheet, and you should get pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2 from the first one. And at 1, you're going to be at 0 or pi over 2. So 0, you could say. Then you're going to add your 2k pi to both of these. And that's your answer. You could also have 2 pi right here instead of 0. It doesn't really matter. So there it is, all in one all together. And that's it for the notes today. So nice and quick. Check on Schoology for the assignment and let me know if you have questions.